Oh, wait, honestly, do I start now or do I
Hmm.
wait with a good team?
You're
Okay.
live.
Alrighty, so I just want to say hi. I'm back on Monday segment only because today I'm gonna be the host for Angel and Joseph. And today we're gonna be talking about gender roles and we're gonna be getting the insight between both of them and join, subscribe, follow the panel. And yeah, this is gonna be a fun segment. So yeah, I'll pass it on to Joseph and Angel.
Hi, my name's Angel, and yeah, join the second. Hope you enjoy it. I hope it's entertaining and informative in a way that you gravitate to something that you could apply to your life in some way and somehow. Or it could be another topic of conversation that you could even expand or help someone else. But yeah, Jojo.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Everything they said. And welcome back. Just a huge welcome back. We have Jocelyn being our host today. She gave us the questions, and everybody's kind of a little bit like, shaky with this, but I think it's going to make good conversation, especially in the conversation. If you want to join the family, please, 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 please DM me my social media. It has not been linked, but it will be linked. So I keep saying that, and I know it sounds like I'm lying, but it will be. And their social medias will be linked also down below. And yeah, if you guys want to be a part of the conversation, please, 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 please be a part. And give us some likes, give us some everything that you have, and that's all I have. And you guys pretty much know who I am already. So yeah, I'll turn it over to Justin.
Alrighty, so because this is my first time being a host, cut me some slack. I'm learning, I'm trying. Also, if you guys have any questions, put that in the chat section. We're more than happy to answer them. So, do you guys want to get started with our first question? Yes? Alrighty, so our first question is going to be about, do you think girls should follow their gender roles? So, such as cleaning, cooking, like, do you think it's a requirement for girls to just be obligated to go and do what they're supposed to do?
I'll go first. Dang, it kind of sounds silent in here. Can't hear your voices. Me personally, no. I I'm gonna answer it for boys and girls mainly because of the fact. Excuse me. I'm gonna answer it for boys and girls, no, because I feel like it places limits on what a woman could do. And now, in our day and age, a lot of women are standing for women empowerment and showing their independency in different avenues and different ways. So I disagree with it just because it puts limits on them, and then on top of that, it will also it will not lean to equality, but it can possibly have a balance in between a male and a female in a such of basically where a male is lacking, a female will be there to carry him. Oh yeah, I'm done. Like, do I press like what button do I press? My bad.
um, do I think girls should follow gender roles? And what you said cooking, cleaning, etc. Cooking, cleaning, etc. I think with that one, it depends. Me personally, I think it really depends. I think everybody should have a certain place in the household. You know, where it's the male or female. I think everybody should have a direct space. So if I'm going out and I'm the one, the what the term is, bring home the bacon, then yeah, I mean, I would expect, for the woman to do the cooking and the cleaning and all that kind of stuff. But if the role is being turned, which is not something that's typically being done, the roles typically don't really be turned, and the man just be the housewife. But I have seen it. But if it's being turned, then then yes. But oh, my signal's going out. Can you guys hear me? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It sounds
So
like you're
yes.
talking fast. My apologies if I interrupted. It sounds like you're talking fast and you kind of cutting off.
Okay. Okay. No. Cool beans. I'm glad you said that because someone just said they couldn't hear me. But all right. Let me slow down what I just said. If the man is out making money and the girl's at home, then yes, because everybody should have a specific role that they play in the household. So if I'm going out and I'm retrieving, and bringing home, being the provider, the head of the household, then yes, that's the role that I will expect because, I'm not going to play two roles. I'm not going to go out, bring home bacon, be the provider, and then also still turn around and try to be the nurturer, the person that, helps everybody and all that kind of stuff. If you get what I'm saying.
Alrighty, so hearing from both of you, I did notice that you guys touched up on the guy section, I mean uh aspect on it. So I'm gonna add a follow-up question on this. Do you think it's okay for guys to step out of their gender roles, such as being the masculine one, being able to be the fixer-upper, like fix stuff around the house, the person who does the outside cooking, just very manly and very manly activities like that. Do you think it's okay for them to step out of it? Angel first.
I got a question. Do y'all only ask me to go first because my name starts with an A? But y'all can answer that afterwards. But I feel like you should never put any restrictions just based on someone's gender on anything because it's always a level of education that someone can actually acquire. Like, I shouldn't, you shouldn't base off the knowledge that you want to obtain based on your gender. So that's what I'm trying to get. You shouldn't even base a restriction on that. So that's really my input on it.
Yeah, all the things you said that, I guess the stereotypic thing is all the things that I don't do. I don't, what was some of the roles you said? Not to just, not
So
to just, throw that out
basically,
there,
like
but
manly stuff. So like fixing up, like so if there's a leak in the house, they fix it, or if they're like cutting the grass or mowing the grass, like stuff that, or taking out the trash, for example, like stuff like that. So.
yeah, all those roles got somebody else's job description on it. Like, fixing the leak, that's you call a plumber. Okay, I'm not handy mandy. I can't do all that stuff. Getting the was it cutting the grass? That's what you have people who work in landscape. You call them, that's their job. And what else you said? You said fixing things around. I don't do none of those, so I'm gonna have to agree with Angel. As far as I don't. If I don't follow those gender roles, I most definitely ain't gonna sit here and try to say I'm with it because I don't even follow. Oh, you have something to add to it?
I didn't say that. I didn't say if it doesn't follow your gender roles. I just said that if you shouldn't just limit yourself or put restrictions on the level of education. Like a woman could cut grass. That's just not a stereotypically thing that she would do. A woman can cut grass, but that's just not something normal for a woman to do. I didn't.
All right, so another question I have for you guys is, so is it okay to dress as your gender role? So like guys wear t-shirts, baggy shorts, baggy pants. Girls wear skirts and dresses. Do you think it's okay for a guy to switch it up to a little bit more of a feminine side to dressing, or do you think it's a girl? She should be able to dress in a boyish way. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think there's limitations to dress code? Yeah, Angel, sorry.
Uh, Um, this particular question is pretty tricky, only because I believe in certain different ethnic groups and throughout history that clothes in general have changed. So like I wouldn't say your clothes are based always based on your gender, but it is a certain percentage because for like some there are men that wear skirts. There are Irish men that wear skirts. I want to say I don't know why I want to say it's a pelk, but I'm not sure. I don't really know the. Do you know the? Hold up. You know the name? Hold up. You know the name? Can you say it?
Killed.
Kilt. Thank you
Is
for
it
your
killed?
correcting me. Appreciate you. Kilt. Yeah, there are people that I wouldn't really say it's a limitation on that or particularly, but there are preferences that people have on their type of clothing or what they would prefer that would be masculine. So, me personally, I would have to do the history on just different people, ethnic groups, and their cultures all the way around to actually give a full perception on it. And right now, I really can't do that because I don't know it. Tell you the truth, I really don't have a full understanding on all the different cultures around the world and why people wear this type of outfit versus this type of outfit. You know what I mean? So I really wouldn't even say your clothes based off your gender because there are women that are straight women that wear guy clothes.
Okay, you said guy clothes. Wouldn't that be putting a gender on the certain type of appearance? Because wouldn't it just be clothes?
Yeah, so like, okay, for example, do you know, like, you guys heard of Prince, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so you know, actually, he used to like change his wardrobe to be a little bit more on the feminine side, and everybody knew it. He wasn't gay or nothing, and they didn't have to deal with any that he wanted to be a girl. They didn't have to deal with any of that. It's just that he liked the style of having a little bit of feminine aspect on it. That's why I was asking, like, do you think it's okay for like guys to step out of like their gender role? So like, a lot of people would look at boy clothes and be like, "Yep, that's for a boy." But in reality it could be for a girl. Or like, you know, if a girl wears baggy clothes or baggy jeans, you know, could that be, you know, I mean, for a guy or a guy wearing a skirt, you know. So that's what I'm trying to come up.
Yeah, you said he he would wear girly clothes to be more on the feminine side. I wouldn't be I wouldn't even say he was trying to be on the feminine side. He was probably being creative in his own way.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to say
Because when you
like he
put
wanted to add a little bit of like a pop, you know, and like he wanted to add like a little bit like his toes, I mean his toes, no, his clothes were a little bit tighter fitting, you know, it was different from what guys normally wear. So he tried
well
to add like a little bit of it's all in an article
Well, the
or
only
whatever
reason
and
his
so
clothes
forth.
will probably be more tighter fitting is because of the fact that he wanted to be more secured and comfortable in his own clothing. Because if your clothes are too baggy, you have no control over of what the way you walk. Because a lot of dudes might wear their pants off their butt. So when you sag, you walk a certain type of way. You got to walk like a
Hmm.
duck. You see what I mean? So when
Yes.
you say his jeans were tighter fitting, it's not more so to the point of basically he's being feminine, more say
Yeah.
it's for him being more secured on that he actually can fit these clothes.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I making sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Okay. Well, Joseph, do you want to put your aspect in this real quick before I start reading comments?
Oh, yes. I guess my personal question would be because I know you guys said in a certain roles and stuff like that. that with clothes. But my thing is, what is boy clothes, or what is specifically girl clothes? That would be my personal thing with that, because a lot of times, for instance, I know pink was considered a girl color, but now it's like, okay, well, no, boys can wear pink too, and all this kind of stuff. So I guess that would be my whole thing is what is actually boy and girl clothes, and do they even have any genders? So, I mean, I don't know if I answered my question or not.
Okay, so I was reading the comments, and one of the comments is actually a really good one, and that should have probably been one of the first questions I asked you guys. But what do you think gender roles is to you? Like, what do you think that the definition of gender roles is? Angel, go first.
After I give you my definition, you have to answer my question on why I gotta go first. Gender roles to me is just how you put it in the very beginning. Cooking and cleaning, that typical roles and the stereotypes that a woman would necessarily follow behind, and also uh, the legacy behind that word is typically a woman that does not work behind, cooks and clean, and necessarily never cross that boundary to learn anything besides everything of being a house. I mean, anything. How should I put it? Let me slow down real quick. Trying to learn something else besides being a housewife. Trying to learn something else besides being a housewife. That is like a typical thing that a gender role. I think I put that wrong. Let me see. Did I put that wrong? Did it? Did y'all catch me on that one, or did I put it? Did you understand me? I'm asking you, JoJo. Yes, I'm asking you.
Explain,
Okay.
elaborate on.
When I say the typical things of a woman that is like a stereotype of a married couple, a man that goes to work, works a 9 to 5 shift, and his wife is basically comes home. She's a housewife, takes care of the kids, and basically do her wifely duties at home only, and she doesn't have herself secured as an independent woman. She always depends on her husband and things of that nature. Them are things of gender roles that I believe that's what she meant in the at the very beginning of the live. I felt like
So what do I think gender roles is? I believe gender roles. I don't know if he stated this, but I believe gender roles is like the stereotypic place that both sexes are in. So, like you said, cooking, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. That's something that you'll probably think a woman would probably do. And being the fixer and being the provider in all those types of things, those are typically things that mainly men will be in. I think a lot of times with gender roles, because me personally, I don't know about other people, but me personally, I can't never really state gender roles without bringing religion in, because gender roles really goes into each selected culture. Like it's different from what it was today. In the 1800s and stuff like that, women, they were the farmers. They were the one that really took care of the crops, while the men, well, 1900s, let me clarify, 1900s, while the men went out and did the heavy diesel work. So I think it changes over time, and I think people idea of gender roles changes as we, evolve in this country or as a whole world. That's just my thing.
Okay. So, with that being said, Joseph and Angel, do you think it's okay for nowadays, well, now in the world today, gender roles is definitely changing. The world is definitely changing in different aspects besides that. Um, do you think there should be an equality between men and women for anything. Like basically, men and women should be paid equal if they're doing the same job. Do you believe that? Well, and I'll ask another question after that. But do you believe men and women should be paid equal, even if they're doing the same? I mean, though they're doing the same job.
My bad. I could think that, but okay, this is where the realism comes in. I could think that a woman and a male should have equality, but it will still never be that. More so for the simple fact that it will always be that thing of male dominance in the such. Basically, we have some male people feel I mean males feel intimidated by females just based off their intellect. So by that even being said, I feel like when a male is intimidated by a woman by her intellect, we will have to find another way to have that male dominance over them. If that makes sense. Am I making sense? Or did y'all catch that? If that makes sense to y'all, because it makes sense to me, of course.
Me personally, do I feel like it's going to? I think I think equality, yes, but I think with okay, point blank period. If you're qualified, then yes, you've met requirements. But I think sometimes people really confuse, me being qualified from my sex, race, and the other, because it's like, oh, well, he got promoted because he's a man, or she got promoted because she's a woman, and the management is dominantly women, and it's like, no, I met credentials. Like my credentials speak for myself. I'm required. I did the hard work. I did the labor. That's why I got this promotion. So yes, do I think the world is ready? No. Do they have to be? Yes, because now it's being forced to us in all actuality.
Alrighty, so I am going to be reading some of the comments. So from Paige, there she comments and says there will never be equality because all of the stereotypes and these so-called stereotypes. And then Joy Williams said male dominance is something insecure men made just so that they can stay on top. And then we actually have a question by Theatis. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but he wants to know if why do you think why do you think dominance is so important to males? Oh, hello? Did you guys hear that
Yes.
question? So why do you Okay, all
Yeah.
right, Angel, go ahead.
Why do I think it's important? Because it was a I believe it was a trained behavior to males that basically passed over generations to actually have control. Not That's why, because I feel like if some people don't have control, they feel like it's nothing but chaos is going to come to out of this situation. That's what I believe. And
Sorry. um. Oh, they can't hear me. If my signal is still messing up, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me clearly? But someone said my signal was messing up. Okay. So dominance, right? Can you let me look at that question again because I had a huge brain fart. Okay. Why is male dominance so important to males? Okay. Um, I don't believe it's important to males. I believe that it's selected. I believe it's very selected. I don't believe all males is super interested in male dominance. I'm still working out. I don't know why I'm working out. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Let me
like
come
you're
leave out.
breaking up, but
I
it's like
could
bits and
hear you.
pieces.
It's just like after every sentence, it's like you sound like a robot.
Like
Not yeah, you kind of sound like a robot at the end of the
Let me
sentence. My
leave
bad.
out and come back in and see if you guys can
And I agree with what you were saying.
well, actually, Angel, we have a comment for you. So, one of our people wants to ask you, so Angel, are you saying that if males don't get to control everything, there will be chaos?
No, what I was speaking on because JoJo is speaking on the generation today. I'm speaking on
Hmm.
generations before us more so on the males before us. I'm not speaking on our generation more so.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
So you're speaking like maybe like back in like in
yeah, I'm
a
speaking on
really
like
long time
previous
ago.
generations, like people that are in like what age group? I would say about like in their 40s. I would say and up, like in between like 40s and 30s and up. But that's the generation I was preferably speaking on male dominance. I wasn't really speaking on our generation. He was speaking on our generation to give the two different perceptions on it. So I wasn't speaking
Okay.
on the whole generation as a whole. I was just
Just like on the okay.
selecting different categories.
So would
So I
like
can't like put on
basically
every guy. Hmm, I can't
I was
put
gonna
every
ask so
guy
like
as.
oh sorry.
I'm sorry. You
Sorry.
go. You go.
No, I was just gonna ask you like basically maybe in like royalty, like in how about in that aspect, like in that time period, like with
Hmm.
kings and yeah, does that play okay. So that could be an
Hmm.
example, royalty as a really good um male
Yeah, because I
dominance.
agree with JoJo because my bad Isaiah. I agree with Isaiah uh, that on in our generation it really doesn't matter the male
Okay.
dominance. But I was speaking on a previous generation.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
well,
Oh, it's your go. It's your go. My bad. We
Oh, I'm
forgot to
sorry.
put each other on mute. Oh my.
I'm sorry. Yes, just to, well, I feel like it is a generation thing. I think now, because as much, like, especially in this time, we're in the wave of the woman, and women is pretty much running everything. But it does go back to, back in the days, the man is taught to be the provider and all that kind of stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So are we obsessed with male dominance? No. But are we physically and just manually placed to be dominant? Yes, because if we don't, we're not a good man, we're not hardworking, we're all these things, And if the woman is the provider, if the woman's doing all this stuff, it goes back to, okay, there's a double standard because, like, well, I'm a woman and, I'm doing all these things that you're supposed to be doing, but you want equality. So you want equality, but you don't want me to be dominant. So I don't have the space to be a man or to do any of those things because still I have to basically, I know, to come to the standards of what society says a man is and what their role is and what they're supposed to be doing. So that's just my take on it. Yeah. But I feel like we are manually placed in that role.
alrighty. So actually, we have some really great questions. So I'm actually going to take a lot of these questions. I'm sorry, don't worry. I'm going to give you guys the credit because these are really, really great. So I have late. Well, first we're going to read Paige's comment because women were taught to succumb to the men's world and standards. That was really, really deep, and I love it. I love it all. And I actually have a few questions coming from our family basically. From Lady Galore, she asked, "Do you think women should be submissive?" Angel, do you want to go first, or do you want Joseph to go first?
I'm having technical difficulties right now. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, y'all can hear me.
Hmm.
Okay. So honestly, I would ask to what degree? What do you mean by like that in aspect of you being submissive altogether? So I would like JoJo to go first, so he could set the example, and I'll follow behind.
Okay.
Um, do I believe that women should be submissive? Absolutely. I absolutely believe that women should be submissive. I think it works both ways. If the man is being submissive to their woman's needs and standards and all that kind of stuff, and if the woman is being let the man be a man. In other words, you know, a lot of times, the man can't be the head if the woman's trying to be the head as well. There can't be two leaders under one household. So sometimes I do believe that the woman should be submissive to the man and let the man lead. You know, you're basically his underdog. It's not that, he's having full control over you because you're still your own person. You're just allowing him to lead. If it's your children,
Mm.
let him direct your children in the way they need to go. You don't always have to step in because if you step in, it's gonna be like, oh well, and I don't know if you guys ever deal with this. Angel, you really need to mute yourself. But I don't know if you guys ever dealt with this, but it was like sometimes it was always like, you couldn't do something in the household. If you ask your dad for something and he tells you no, and then you ask your mom, and your mom tells you yes, and then your dad's like, why would you tell him yes? I told him no. And she's like, well, I said yes. Then it's a whole argument. But if it was like, okay, I asked my dad, can I have a piece of candy? And my mom was like, well, what did your father say? Because I'm with him. I side with him. I agree with him. So if if it's let the women be submissive, yes, I think it works both ways though. I do believe that the man should be submissive to the wife because sometimes the woman needs to take leadership. There are certain things that we can't do. We're not really born to be nurturers. We learn how to nurture because that's a feminine trait that we learn from our mothers, but we're not born to. That's not our quality. Let the woman be the nurturer. Let her do the things that us as men not knowledgeable to do. So yes, I think it works both ways, but I do believe that women should be submissive to their husband. Let me be clear to that, to their husband.
I'm not disagreeing. I totally agree. I'm not disagreeing. I totally agree.
Okay, so I actually have a question. So do you think the same rules, because Joseph, you did mention with parenting, and you believe that men should lead their children to do what they have to do, and that the women should be very caring and generous to their child, right? So I have a question. So do you think the same rules apply to single women who are single mothers out there? Do you think they have the same rules? Do you think they should still be nurturing, or do you think they are able to take the role of a man because there isn't a man in the picture?
They will feel able to, but a woman can never teach a boy how to be a man because she just like a woman is she doesn't actually she never has carried the burden of actually being a man. So a woman can never she could teach him qualities of a man and instill that with him of what she thinks a man really is, but she never carried the burden of what it really takes to be and become one.
Um, to answer your question, no, I don't think that the woman should try to teach the man to no, you shouldn't have to take that leadership into trying to fulfill or be in the place of the man. I think you should just be the mother because that's what they need. They need their mother. They're going to teach, they're going to learn that. They're going to learn all those feminine traits from you. They're going to see, okay, this is how a man should treat his mother, or this is how a man should treat his wife, because this is how my mom raised me to treat women. My mom raised me to treat women the same way. this way. A woman trying to raise a man to be a man and all that kind of stuff, that becomes a problem because now you've neglected all your feminine properties that was supposed to be instilled to the son at birth. He doesn't now, and I'm not saying this always happened, but now, your son doesn't know how to be affectionate, because you had to be the man. You had to show him how to be a man. You thought, oh, well, typically men are not affectionate. He doesn't know how to have compassion because you had to be the man. Men stereotypically don't really have compassion. They're really just hard on, hardcore people, So you're teaching him all this hardcore, all this stuff, and yada yada yada, and you neglected every feminine trait that you were supposed to teach him. You were supposed to teach him how to be a nurturer, how to be, women provide too, how to be a provider, how to have compassion, how to love properly, how to love. Letting them know it's okay to cry, it's okay to be affectionate, it's okay to do all these things. So I think I think today that's a really really big issue because you have these hardworking women that's like, okay, I'm gonna show you how to be a man. I'm gonna train you into a man, but you can't do that. You're not a man. He's gonna learn how to be a man regardless. He's a man. You know, he's a growing boy. He's gonna learn that regardless. But I believe that the woman should really just continue to be the mother. From that, they will look at that and they will see, okay, this is how, like me personally, speaking on personal, my dad wasn't always around, So my mom, the way she taught us is she told us, she said, I'm not going to be your father. Those are shoes, those are big shoes to try to fill. I can't fill those shoes. I can't be your father. All I can do is be your mother. All I can do is just teach you what's right, how to treat your wife, you know, how to treat the women, how to how to deal with them. That's all I can teach you. But as far as the responsibilities of the man, being the head of the household, all that kind of stuff, I can't teach you that. That's not something that I really had to do. That's something that the man takes care of, and only a man can really teach you how to be a man. Because if it's a woman, vice versa, a man can't teach a girl how to be a girl. You know, it just don't work that way. I can't say, oh, well, you have to get your nails done. You have to get your hair. You got to look pretty. I don't know how girls are. And then physically, hopefully I'm not being too discreet, but I don't know what a freaking period is. I don't know how them things work. Okay, 1 minute you good and you're okay, and then the next it's like you a whole new person, and I can't teach you that. I can't tell you how that works. So I mean, that's just my personal take on it. I'm sorry if I got a little too long-winded.
No, no, it's okay. It's great to hear from you and what you think. I actually wanted to read some of the comments because they are actually buzzing with just honestly really, really good stuff. And so I'm gonna start by reading some of them. So I have, so actually I'm gonna wrap around back to this question, but first I have from Joy. Um, She says that's foolish to say, but this was a little bit while. And then Lady Galore says, but we do. Paige says it may be harder for a woman to raise her son to be a man, but it's not impossible. Lady Galore says it starts with a woman. Paige comes back to say, but raising him the right way is training him and teaching him to be a man. As Joy says, things a woman can teach that a man can't understand: love, peace of mind, not the barbaric mindset that you learn on your own out in the world. Paige has really good things to say. She goes, raising a boy to be a man, teaching him responsibility. Responsibility means commitment to oneself and others, and it means that a boy becomes a man. He is able to be responsible for himself and be willing to take care of people who are closest to him. Um, I'm actually going to go to Cameron. She says it always starts with a woman. The man is raised by a mother, and but a father influences action. If a single mother raises her son, she's the head of the household and holds the same responsibilities. So also Oh wait, there's one more. Paige says, I think the real thing is a mother can't fill a father's shoes, and they shouldn't, but a mother can raise a son into being a man. So a lot of her comments are really good. I actually can understand from both of them, from what Isaiah's saying and what all the comments are saying. Now I do have to agree with the comments. I do believe it is not impossible that you cannot take care of your son just because you're by yourself and you can't. I do believe you can raise him to be a man. I've seen it happen before, and I do agree with Paige. You can never fill a man's shoes, a father's shoes, but you can definitely try your best to be a part of that figure, you know. And so I am gonna ask another question. This is a pretty big question, so I'm probably going to wrap this up with this last question. By the way, guys, thank you so much for your comments. But do you think the world is ready to open up to gender roles and gender equality? Do you think the world is ready for it? And do you think it's possible or impossible for it to be, changed?
Well, I'm not going to say if it's ready for it, because preferably I don't think it is. And I can't speak on behalf of the whole world because I haven't seen the whole world yet. But I don't think it is, preferably from what I've seen already. But it's going to be forced regardless because women are always fighting for equality more so than men nowadays because men were always given equality and as such. So women are demanding their equality nowadays, and I feel like it's being forced now. That's all.
Yes, just to piggyback off of what he said, I don't think we really have much of a choice to not accept equality. Um, Now, what I will say is one thing is I hope we will really get out of this, and that's something that hasn't changed for a long time is the double standard. I do believe yes, we're going to have equality, but I always feel like there's always going to be a double standard. You know, with both men and women. There are certain jobs that people expect women to do that women's like, well, this is our thing. The men shouldn't be doing that. There's certain jobs that men have. The women are more so like, oh well, the more, yeah. There's always going to be a double standard. So, do we have a choice? No. Do I think we're ready? No. So that's just my take on it.
Alrighty, so honestly, that was a really great segment. There's so much more that I really wanted to go into the talking about gender roles and gender identification. I do want to say thank you to our amazing people and our amazing family for giving us great feedback and great chats. I am so sorry I wasn't the best host today. This is my first time, so I'm still trying to get the ropes of it. But I did have fun listening to everybody's comments and reading them. And, I definitely want to come back and talk more about the subject. And hopefully, we can get to everybody's comments and everybody's questions. And, thank you so much for having me, Joseph. So, Angel, do you want to say something?
Thank you for having me, Joseph, for extending your hand of invitation. And thank y'all for listening. Hope y'all gained something from our conversation. Hope it was very informative in a way.
Well, yeah. Thank you for being a part, Angel, and showing your face, guys. If you probably don't see his face now, but he did show his face in the beginning. He's in the dark, so that's why you can't see his face. Um, but like always, thank good. Please, thank you to my amazing host for today, Jocelyn. She did. If you guys feel like, oh yeah, you have a comment. They said you did an amazing job. They said you are the great host. So yes, I will link down her information down below. She will be doing this more often. I will be trying to have her do this more often because she was so amazing and it took a load off my back. So But we thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sorry we couldn't get to your questions for today. If you guys want a part two, if you guys want a part two of this, please, please, please let us know in the comments if you would like a part two. And Jocelyn can be our amazing host. Again, she did an amazing job. If you don't think she did a phenomenal job, please let us know if you want a part two for this. And we can have Angel back and Jocelyn back for this segment. But their social media will be linked down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't let the conversation stop here. Send this broadcast to your family members, to your cousins, your grandmother. We don't do anything bad on here. Send it to everybody. If you're just interested, keep this conversation going. It starts with you. The change starts with you. Everything begins with you. So that's all I have to say. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Bye, guys.